Just call it bonus.
What's good? What's good? It's your boy DJ Avo, and this is the Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast bonus episode. Let's go.
As you can see, we have DJ Avo live in effect. I don't think his internet is messing up. What's good, Brodies and Bays? This is the Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. This is a bonus episode. This is where you come for your fantasy football needs and to chop it up about the latest NFL news. I am Dynasty Bro Dot here with my co-bro.
You got Dynasty Bro Vic. What's up, everybody?
And our names are on here. Seeing how we have some fire-ass guests today pointing that out, man. So look, let's just get straight to it. Introduce you guys. Glad to have you on. Look, we're going to get Dan the ass wave. Damon the one. Do something cool. I don't want to tell you wave. What is that?
We don't know. No idea.
I said do something cool.
He's trying to get a phone head really quick. Get it? Really?
All right.
Don't do that.
That's funny. I know. That's funny. So look, we have a fire episode. We got fire guests today. First of all, thank you guys for coming on, man. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having us. I can't speak for Damon himself because I still have hair a little bit, but we appreciate you guys letting us come out and show a little hardware.
No, Damon, where your ring at first? Where your ring at?
It's in the closet.
No, my ring got stolen. It got stolen before he was out of college.
Damn. All right.
No, go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, one of you guys, whoever is the most important, y'all can decide this right now. Explain what you guys have going on. Explain your podcast. Explain yourselves to us before we dig into some dialogue, so we can give our fans some more cool shit about you guys.
Well, we don't have an upper hand. We're partners. Dan and I both, we've been friends for over 10 years. We love sports. We've always sat around and, drank beer, take shots, and talk sports. One day we decided to, hey, man, let's start a podcast. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how we did it. And then we tried to mull around different type of names. And then he mentioned something, we just give people, the black and white of sports. So that's how we were born. And so we've been doing it for about 2.5 years now. And, in this black and white sports, we have a network we're trying to build. We have a couple different programs that we put on. We have ourselves, who do black and white sports, which is more like a sports center type deal. We cover all sports, whatever's hot in the news or whatever's subject to chat material. That's what we cover. And then we have another show that we produce as well, which is Checkers and Wreckers, and it's a racing show. It's his brother, Tommy Boy, Sean Stevens, and then his partner, Howdy. I'm mixing everybody's names up.
You're bombing this right now. You're bombing these names.
It's terrible. And then we got Chris Hyatt, who is Howdy, his AKA is Howdy, and those guys do nothing but racing. And it's pretty phenomenal. Their following is just outstanding. They cover everything that you can race. We even dabble into the iRacing scene. They have a channel, CWTV, where they broadcast different iRacing leagues. So, we're just trying to cover all kinds of sports and just give the people just something that's just not so, up and down in sports. We like to play around with it. Exactly.
That's what's up, man. We had the chance to come on you guys' podcast, and that shit was fun, man. So we had to repay the favor, man, and got some things in the works. So I'm excited about the future going forward. And I'm not gonna lie, I had my own reasons of why it was called Black and White Sports, and I'm just
Can't you tell I'm a black guy? I was the one who was late.
I got the Scully. I like the Scully, man.
it's got to be obvious too,
Yeah,
All
this
right,
thing's
so
getting
look,
hot. I really wanted to wear it, but man, it's getting hot up here, honestly. And it's fabulous because I got my hair cut over the weekend.
Ooh, look at that
God.
line.
Stunting.
Did you do
So
it yourself?
good. This shit was starting to curl up back here, and I was like, nah.
Hey, he tried to show the hairline, trying to be slick.
I know, man. Shitting
the
on us
move.
bald folks, man. That's what he doing.
Yeah.
That was a chess move. I ain't mad at
Okay.
Man, I can't help it.
it.
There we go.
All right, so look, we have a fire episode. We're going to take a break from the fantasy football for 1 week. Get into this Jordan doc, man. I'm pretty sure everybody was tuned in for the most part. No, I was. I know you guys was. So give us a chance to dive deep into it, man, because it was very interesting, man. So what we're going to do is, before we get into that, every time we have our guests on, we like to go over resumes. Fantasy football resume, real life resume. So I hope you both are ready and got some prepared. I don't care if it's, look, I never played. I don't care. I need to know something. So I don't know. Who wants to start? Flip a coin. Let's.
You know what? No, I'm gonna go first because I already know the ass has an Al Bundy story waiting on us. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my little bit out. I am not a football guy. I'm very knowledgeable in the sport of football, but I'm not the player. I played a little bit as a young guy. If you can see it in the background, I'm a Steeler fan. So that was the first team that I came acquainted with because that's who I played with at the boys club. So I dibble-dabbled. I stopped playing 8th grade. I got hit, and that's all I needed to know. I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't me, bro. I like the controlled environment, temperature sports. So I stuck with basketball.
Message. All right, so that's real life football, man. Have you ever had the chance to dabble in fantasy yet?
I have played fantasy, kinda. We had a fantasy league, I say about 2 years ago, bro. I signed up, went through the whole thing, got the squad. I'm all in it, trade this, move that. 3 weeks in, 6 weeks in, I didn't even open the damn thing.
One of those guys, man.
Hey, man, I get it. It's one of those things where you gotta be entertained. You gotta want to do it, or if not, it's gonna seem like a fucking job, and it shouldn't have to. So I get it, man. I get it. Hopefully, we can turn that around. The more we be around each other, hopefully, me and Vic can turn that around. So
maybe I could be an assistant coach or something.
Yeah, man, a co-GM. Me and Vic co-GM a lot of leagues together. We're at the point where we got too many leagues going on. We got to co-manage some. So,
hey, we can't co-GM too many. Though. I'm kind of, getting tired of this dude, man. I like to move freely with my teams, but having to check. So,
hey, we be butting heads, and Vic he be like, I could chill. I'm patient. But soon as something happens, like it's our turn to draft, that patience goes out the fucking window. He's all antsy. He's doing shit without checking in. I'm like, dude, I thought we was making a pick together. Vic just impatient, man.
Hey, Cooper Kupp's gone. Next thing you know, we got a first-round pick next year, though. Bro, we straight, bro. We good.
If you knew the backstory behind that, Dan, you would have an ass comment to say to him, and I wish you did right now.
I'm doing some behind the scenes stuff. I always do for the first 5 minutes of the show, trying to help us all out. I just know that.
Okay, look. Okay, Dan, your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
Explain your football resume, man. Give me your football resume since you're showing off that pinky bling.
Well, I started in 2nd grade. I was like, cool. I played. I played in the South Deanery League down in the Catholic schools on the south side of Indianapolis, and then I went to a very, very challenged school now in Ron College, and this is parental advisory, right? I had a lot worse, but I'm really not going to. All I know is I played Ron College, defensive end, offensive line, linebacker a little bit. Senior year, 15-0. Us and Ben Davis were the first 2 teams in the state to do that. And we did it by going down to Cincinnati and playing Anthony Munoz's coach team in Cincinnati Moeller, that we went up against Mike Munoz in that game. Mind you, we beat them at their field.
Okay.
Bam! I love the sound effect. That was perfect time.
Okay.
We need the sound effect guy, man.
All right. Damon doesn't seem to like your resume. Why is that?
Because I played in a non-climatized sport. He's got to go to the gym to stay warm. He can't get cold and wet.
Hey, it's warm in the summer.
You see what I got to put up with, folks?
That's just funny.
I mean, no, I'm sorry, man. That ground hurt when it's like 30 degrees outside, man. I'm
You get used to it, man.
Okay, here I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a real quick story about football. When it's really cold and it's snowing and raining, cold, whatever, you gotta pee. You piss your pants because your legs will stay warm for about 10 minutes.
I never pissed my pants, bro. I waited till
I did several times.
Some dudes do that though. Guys who don't. Hey, I know some.
Hold on. Guys who don't what, Vic?
I ain't gonna finish that. I just know
guys that don't give a shit about a pee stain on their football pants. Yeah, that's me.
He sounds like the guy I want on my team if I was a coach, man. That's all I'm saying.
Give him the ball. Right. You don't want to tackle that.
Okay, so look, you got a ring in real life football, man.
Yep.
Do you have any history in fantasy football at all?
I got a ring in fantasy.
Ooh.
I played for. I've been playing since like 2009, 2010. Started with a 1 league, obviously. Got up to 4 leagues 1 year, and honestly, it's like, nah, I can't do this. I can't stay focused with all 4 leagues. So I went down to 2 pay league and a non-pay league. I won the pay league the first season we played, and so I could have a second ring on my finger like Damon doesn't, but you know.
Oh my gosh, so many shots.
See, I'm only gonna let him take those shots because I can't back up my hardware, but I really can. My ring, my my junior college conference championship ring was stolen when my house was robbed in my 20s. So my ring was taken. So I can have some people that was on that team be like flash the bling that we had, but I mean, if you ain't got it on you, you can't really talk about it. So I'm gonna let him have it. I'm just let him get it. But best believe that could use the ring for my son to be put right back in his second class Catholic
message.
School.
I didn't never lose to Cathedral, homie.
Oh my gosh, this sounds like real beef, Vic.
It do, bro.
Oh no, Ron Crowley and Cathedral is one of the biggest rivalries in the city.
Yeah,
Man, our beef is college.
Well, yeah. Look behind him. He's got shit stains on his wall.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Hey, that beat the shit out of him last year. Remember that ass whooping y'all took that you can't redeem for 13 years?
That's
Who's
right.
your team, Dan?
Irish. Go Irish.
Where's Cam at?
he ain't here, man. But yeah, shout out to the Notre Dame Irish
And Chase Claypool.
Yeah, Chase Claypool. That's my guy.
Beat that ass last year. Beat that ass.
We gotta give you 1 out of 5.
Since you in hibernation for 13 years.
All right, so look, we get. Oh man, I like that. All right, so look, what we're about to do is transition into the main topic, man, and we'll break this down. We'll give Vic the chance to narrate this and take lead. You know, try to steer hold because it's a lot of guys. We want to make sure we get all our points out, man. So, Vic, you got the stage, man. Take it away right now.
All right, man. So, of course, we just wrapped up the Jordan doc. Hopefully, everyone had a chance to check it out over these past 5 weeks. So, really, man, we're just here to kind of just break down some key moments, things that we learned, some critiques, talk about who we think the GOAT is in our opinion. But at the end of the day, we're just here to have a organic dialogue and pretty much, give guys a chance to kind of share their opinion on, what they saw. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go round table. So first, we're going to start with a key highlight, key moment that stuck out. So Damon, I'm going to start with you. A lot of great moments happened. Let's touch on a key moment that stuck out to you during the doc.
I'm gonna go off topic. Well, on topic, off topic for a minute with that. One of the key highlights that stuck out to me is to and fro, the impact that that Mike had on Nike. That's what really got me, because you know how powerful and how just enormous Nike is right now, with their hand in just about everything legal and illegal, Zion Williamson. But
oh man.
But the fact that Jordan only made roughly around 90 million from his basketball career, and to this date,
only 90 million.
That's frozen.
Damn, it really did.
For 2 seconds, I didn't think he was frozen. I thought he was just
I
holding
thought he
pose.
was like doing that too. That happened to me just a little bit ago when my shit went out. I don't know what happened.
I was like, that was a hell of a hold.
I don't know. He might. No, I was gonna say he was
impressive.
looking pretty statuey.
That shit was impressive.
He's coming back.
No shit.
I'm back, but we'll see.
That was talent.
All right, let's pivot to Dan. We'll come back to Dan.
Something that stuck out to me, honestly, obviously, I'm a little biased because I wasn't a Bulls fan. Obviously, being, let's see, in '93, I'm 11 years old, so I do remember all those battles and stuff. But 98 with the Pacers, man. I mean, you bring that team out. That was the only thing stopping the Pacers from their first title, and the lockout was what happened to the second title. The third title is the Malice at the Palace. So we should technically have 3. But one of the the craziest things I saw in that was after the Bulls beat the Pacers, and you're backstage, you're back wherever in the locker rooms and the hallways, Larry Bird,
yes,
Michael Jordan meet up each other, and he looks at him and says, "You bitch, fuck you."
Fuck you.
Hey, thanks for saying it, man. I'm glad you didn't censor that out.
Should I have?
Oh, no.
Okay. Hell no.
I mean, I watched the show and you say fuck more than I do.
Hey. Yeah. Our lyrics be off the charts, but yeah.
No, I mean, when he said that and the joking about it, and he knew, he's like, man, this is yours. He knew it, but I love the Pacer rivalry, and I'm sorry, Reggie Miller and Michael Jordan is never really a real rivalry, because they only played against each other when it really mattered a couple times, and I don't see that being a real rivalry. Now the team, I mean, obviously, Pistons were Chicago's rivalry, and that was it. Pacers had Pistons, Pacers had Sixers too. Shit, the dog's seen a rabbit.
Oh man.
Hey, appreciate that. So Dan was just sharing one of the moments.
Back.
Yeah, welcome back, by the way. But he was just sharing how the moment that stuck out was where Jordan met Bird, and basically he said, "Fuck you, you bitch," and they just kind of had a little guys moment. So
I thought it was excellent and classic Bird. I mean, I've kind of been around him a little bit, kind of know what he's like. So that's classic Bird, man.
Hey, so let's put it back to you. So just refresh us on what you were saying before, you had to take a quick exit, but we're glad you're back.
He must have took a pee break in his football pants.
Yeah. No, like what I was saying was, with the fact that Jordan in his career made $90 million. And to this day now on the Forbes list, Jordan is the richest former pro athlete on the planet. He is worth $2.1 billion. So in 88, he signed a contract with Nike for $250,000. and everybody thought they was crazy. They thought they was crazy. You know what I mean? Just think if Mike had signed with Adidas.
Oh man, that
Really,
would
you know what I'm saying?
weird.
$250,000 investment.
Man.
25, 30 years later, just part of it is worth $2.1 billion.
Yeah.
That's pretty hot to me.
All right.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. Who's next, Vic?
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Doc. Someone that stuck out for you.
Well, I guess I got a moment, and then I just got something that just stuck out through the whole thing. Is Jordan cussed so damn much, man. He cussed so. I thought I cussed a lot. That motherfucker cussed a lot. A lot. Yeah. Hey, he does. But my moment is the whole Dennis Rodman going to Vegas in the middle of the season. How I respect the coach and I respect a team trying to give him his space and understanding who he is throughout his moments he had. But dude, that hey, Rodman, look, I know Jordan was like the main focus. Yeah, but Rodman, I enjoy watching all these Rodman things and just watching some of the little video. Who the fuck decided to follow him to Vegas too and get that footage? Like Rodman was a damn character. That stood out to me.
MTV.
That's fire.
Yeah. All right, Avo. How about you, man?
But that stood out to me. That being granted that 48. No. I was just wrapping it up. My bad.
Yeah, wrap it up. No, I'm just fine.
We need one of those low key.
We probably do.
Get one. My really the every moment Jordan was an asshole. I just enjoyed it. I don't know why. Probably because I'm an asshole. And I know when I was playing baseball, I had that type of mentality. I just couldn't speak it because my mom, she was gonna whoop my ass. So like I couldn't speak those words he was speaking, but I definitely felt that way. And I definitely remember having that type of confidence. But nobody told me that that's the right thing. So that's just, hey, everybody told me to calm down. Nobody told Jordan to calm down. He just kept winning. So that's what I just enjoyed seeing the most is, man, he's a dickhead and he won. Like, fuck y'all. That's the shit I'm with. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah, getting some understanding around that. So you guys don't know this, but of course our listeners do. We've been having this hat war. So of course I'm repping the Pacers hat. But I'm about to sub out this hat since we're in the 90s right now. Go to this FloJo hat.
Oh,
So
okay.
just want to sub out.
And
That's
just for that moment.
Yeah.
But
But a key moment that stuck out for me was actually mine kind of aligns with Avo. Just seeing the philosophy behind Michael Jordan's mindset, the way he thinks. Of course, you hear about him being an asshole, but just kind of understanding where all that comes from. So of course, he wants to win. And of course, he operated with a sense of urgency. So I think that's where a lot of that assholeness comes from. Because if you have someone who's operating with a sense of urgency and you got folks who are more lax, you can come off as an asshole. So, the main moment that stuck out with that was when he started crying in the doc, when basically just talking about how, if you want to compete that way or if you don't want to compete, play that way, whatever he said. He basically said, if you want to play that way, don't play that way. And he was like, break. So, I mean, the man was in tears, and that's how much he loves competition, and that's what drives him. So I thought that was a big moment.
True.
Yeah.
True shit.
Yeah.
I can't get over the hat, man. You win. You
Hey,
win.
that thing is clean, bro. That thing is clean.
I almost put on a Reggie jersey, but I didn't want to do too much since it's a, Jordan Doc. We're giving him his flowers, so I wanted to chill out. So.
Yeah, I got the wife of Mark Jackson jersey, that FloJo jersey too. So yeah, buddy.
That should be another key moment or a key highlight is that the fact that it's not the Jordan Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was supposed to be the Bulls.
It was supposed to be the Bulls.
Last day.
It was just all about Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it was all about Jordan. They just happened to be along for the ride. Pippen had the most sidekick share, but it was Jordan. You take Jordan off her, as you can see.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good transition into All right. So, of course, this documentary, featured Michael Jordan, but of course, a lot of people were featured in it and had a chance to give their side of the story. So, I kind of want to just ask you guys, who's a player or person that you learned a lot about in this process while, learning about Michael Jordan? Who stuck out to you besides Michael Jordan? What you learned? So let's start with Dan on this one.
Besides the Phil Jackson part that I'll let you get to, Scottie Pippen, man. Honestly, it sticks out because it's the last episode. The back problems that I didn't really know that he was having in the last game, in the last finals match, he was sitting there grinding through some major back spasms or whatever was going on, man. You could tell it every time he jumped and came down. He's grimacing, man. He's in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that I can't say he got screwed out of money because he took the contract knowing how much he was going to get. However, man, they should have paid him. They should have given what he was deserving of because he was Jordan's go-to guy every time. Every time. I mean, Batman has Robin. Superman has Wonder Woman. Jordan as you can tell, I'm more of a Batman fan than I am a Superman. But that could be
another show. Get in trouble for that one.
That could be another show. But I mean, every time you've seen Jordan, you've seen Pippen.
Yeah.
And vice versa. They were probably one of the best dynamic duos in the league ever.
Yeah. I agree. Any thoughts or reactions?
Yeah. I agree with him on the simple fact that they were a dynamic duo. There's only one duo that I could possibly put above them, and that's only because of the longevity of both of their careers, and that'd be Stockton Malone. The only thing that will hold them back, obviously, they got beat twice by this duo right here. But that'd be the only other duo that I would even consider putting close to what these guys did. 6 times they hit the finals, 6 times they won championships. Both of them are top 50 all time when they did it 20 years ago. So who knows what it'll be now? But I agree with you 100.
All right.
Well, we don't gotta bring up Shaq and Kobe.
Hey, I love Shaq and Kobe, but they weren't better than either one of those duos. But if you add championships, you got to put championships at another level when you're rating. But you look at the numbers together with Stockton and Malone, outstanding. And for their career, I mean, it's 13, 14, 15 years. Shaq and Kobe, 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mean, they just had that 2000s attitude. Juvenile came out. And then, they just start feeling themselves. Hey, what's crazy is you brought up Pippen, man. And that's probably who I feel like I learned the most about. Like, I knew Robin was wild. I knew how great Jordan was. I guess I never realized how great Pippen was as a player and how highly regarded he was amongst his peers. Like, you see people talk about him, it's like, yeah, he was probably one of the just top guys in the league outside of being Jordan's side. That's what there's like Jordan and Pippen. It's always like he's the sidekick, but like actually I feel like I actually learned how great he was watching this, and I'm like, I guess I just never realized that Pippen was that great of a player. I knew he was good, but every time I think of Pippen, you always just be like Jordan's sidekick. So, and
he's one of the greatest defensive players ever.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah. And the way he played that point guard at being that big too was pretty fire too. Jordan he'd give him the ball, he'll start run that offense no matter who they had in, Kerr, Armstrong, Harper. He was their point guard, so that
lets you know that Draymond Green did not revolutionize a position that was already dominated 20 years before he even hit middle school. Point forward. I don't know where you figured that you changed the game, bro, but no. and last thing on Pippen, people forget how good Pippen was. They said he was good in his career. but they forgot Pippen was good beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Number 5 pick coming out of an NIA school. You know what I'm saying? NAIA school. You know what I mean? Number 5 pick. These are over Dukes, North Carolinas, Syracuse, Michigan States. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him his due. Oh, my bad. Not Scotty. Scott Pippen.
Scott Pippen. Hey, my only knock on Pippen would be, of course, the talent's there on the court, but when Jordan, went away for that season, or two to play baseball, Pippen kind of lacked the leadership in terms of, he didn't get the ball, or at least Phil didn't call for the ball to be in his hands to close out the game, so he stayed on the bench. So that just goes to show, not every guy can handle that leadership role either, even though the talent's there, but is your mental ready for that? So that was one thing that stood out to me. That was his chance to really own the team and rally the guys when Jordan wasn't there. But, at least in that moment, he wasn't ready to lead.
Man, hell nah.
Bro,
he
that.
learned
Phil's
from Jordan for so many years. Phil would have never called that play for anybody but Jordan.
Never.
And if Pippen's your guy while Jordan is gone, don't call that play for nobody else. He learned from Jordan. Jordan would have been pissed too. He wouldn't have did that shit to Jordan.
Hey, that's
who hit the shot?
Hey, why didn't Phil trust him then?
Did he hit the shot?
I mean, he still hit the shot, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
No, but why didn't Phil call your number then?
Hey, all I know is he hit the shot.
Scotty
He did hit the shot. Scotty would have hit it too and got the and one. Scotty would have got the and one.
I would have loved to believe Scotty would have made that shot. I would have loved to believe that Scotty made that shot. But it was written in the tarot card, all the way back from the Olympics, that Kukoc was going to make that shot, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, that's funny though.
All right, Damon, what you got for us? What moment, or at least what'd you learn? Who'd you learn about?
With this era of basketball being right in my sweet spot. I'm out of college. I'm still kind of in prime playing shape, playing in the pro-am leagues around the city. So I really feel alive for this. So I get a lot of this information and a lot of these stories I was already knowing about. But what really touched out to me was Phil Jackson. I have never been a real big supporter of Phil Jackson as a coach, as in X's and O's. I've always kind of seen him as a great manipulator of minds. The triangle has always been, to me, a staple brought to us by Tex Winters, developed by Tex Winters and brought out by him. And Phil just happens to be the puppet head of that. Phil, to me, really never displayed a true quality of coaching when you always have the best 2 players to coach. For 6 years, you had the best 2 players in the league, Michael and Scotty. For the next 5 championships, you had a combination of the best 2 players in the league, Kobe and Shaq, and Kobe and arguably Pau Gasol, whatever. But you really had, the best players. Give me a Phil Jack, give me a team with no superstar of those quality and show me your coaching style. That's how I kind of looked at it. But when they did that episode on Phil and how he learned and how he figured out every intricate detail of how the triangle works and brought that, he was like the tunnel from Tex Winters through him to the players of how to execute this offense. And you won 6, 11, 13 championships with the triangle. I got to give it to him. He's more than what I thought.
Yeah, that actually rolls into mine. So I'm gonna jump in at least with what I learned. Of course, learning a lot about Phil Jackson stood out to me too, just because he's often overshadowed by these great players. He's this great talent he's coaching. So what stood out to me was even when he was down in the trenches, I call it. When he was coaching in Puerto Rico, and apparently they were even like mayors and governors getting in shootouts over the outcome of the games. But for Phil to kind of perfect his craft in those environments and to bring it to the NBA, Phil, his style is more so zen. He just kind of goes with the flow. And at that time, it was going against the grain. But one thing I learned also with that, I was listening to Bomani Jones talk with BJ Armstrong, and BJ Armstrong even mentioned how in these crucial moments, Phil just lets the moment play out. And when you think about it, if you go back to like all these crunch time moments, Phil's not really calling timeouts. He just lives with the outcome. So, but to your point, if you got Scottie and Jordan and, you know, Kobe and Shaq, maybe you can just live with the outcomes. So
kind of reminds me of Roy Williams down at NC.
Hey, Roy, you gotta just let it play. You don't call no timeout, man. You just go get the bucket, throw the defense off. Roy live and die by that.
Yeah, and also
said that shit, just go get the bucket. My bad.
And why give the team, you know, the defense a chance to kind of set up and strategize? You know what I mean? So,
and Phil never have to worry about the outcome, because if somebody missed that shot, it's never on Phil. It's on Jordan. It's on Kobe. It's on those guys. It's never on the coach with how great of players those are. So he ain't give a shit.
Yeah. All right, Doc, what you got for us, man? Who's somebody you learned about during the doc?
I kind of squeezed mine in when Dan was doing his, because mine was the Pippen thing. Like I said, I never really understood his greatness. I just knew he was good. I knew he was Jordan's sidekick. I knew he was there to make sure that everything was going well with Jordan. But like, just understanding how great he was and hearing other people talk about him, minus the little bonehead moments he might have had in his career, but just his talent, I guess I never realized how great he was. So I think watching it and understanding his greatness in this doc helped me get up to speed to what his talent level really was in the NBA. So
yeah. So now when you order that Jordan jersey, you got to also get a Pippen and Rodman jersey with it. I mean, that's just
I already got a Pippen jersey.
Well, mine's on the way. All right, what about you, Avo? What's something you learned? Who's someone you learned about in the doc?
Crazy enough, Jerry Krause.
Okay.
Like, as soon as they said his name and they said he came from the baseball world, I immediately was like, what the hell is going on here? So I was confused from jump. Like, wait, he's bringing over a different skill set into this sport that really I see how they match, but I didn't think anybody else could ever see how they matched. So the way he was able to look at the players and decide, Scottie Pippen is that dude. He can jump really high, but his arms might be an extra little bit longer. His hands might be a little bit bigger. He might be really good at X, Y, and Z, and that's generally how baseball players are looked at. So he kind of took the game and literally like redid the scouting report of players, is how I see it, and kind of brought in the Moneyball game into basketball back then. I had no clue. Now, clearly, he's a dumbass for trying to move on from Jordan and shit.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Go ahead. Continue.
Hey, man, he made a dumbass mistake. It is what it is.
You can be a dead dumbass.
Still
I just want to put some respect on it.
He's still an amazing GM.
Yeah.
He found Luke Longley. Like, that's bruh. He did shit. He set that shit up wrong, but he knew what the fuck he was doing. They should have probably put more trust in him, probably stopped picking on him so much. But that's who I learned the most about, is this little dude that came over here and won 6 championships, low-key.
Yeah, and I mean, I discovered this on Twitter. There's a parallel even with the movie Space Jam. I guess the coach of the GM Monstars is basically a replica of Jerry Krause. So I never even did that.
It looks just like you. It looks just like you.
Yeah, so that's something that stood out to me. All right. So now let's transition to, who do we think deserves a doc? So, of course, we've, came across all these different, storytellers, role players, people who are around Jordan. So I know we touched on people that we learned a lot about. Who would you say deserves a documentary themselves after watching a Jordan doc? So, Damon, I'm going to start with you.
Well, that mine kind of piggybacks off of off the last comment about Jerry Krause. That's who I kind of like to see or like to learn a little bit more about. For one, like him coming from the baseball world, bro, that's just, a phenomenal how you just jump sports like that. And then from what I've learned looking back in on it, he finished his career back in the baseball world in the scouting realms. So
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like to I would kind of like to hear, not so much know about him so much, but hear his side, hear his perspective on the way that he he did business with the Bulls.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. How about you, Dan?
I mean, I could go on about Pippen again, but I want to kind of change it up a little bit. I mean,
All right.
Pippen deserves one, I believe. Rodman had a 30 for 30.
Which was phenomenal.
It's awesome. Awesome. I can see where you're going with Jerry Krause. But let's go with, God, what's his name? It's the owner of the Bulls and
Ryan
the
Storr.
White Sox.
Ryan Storr.
I mean, to have both in your pocket, to look at everybody in the sports like newscast world, the news anchors at ESPN and whoever else. So I'm going to take Jordan. I'm going to take the best player in NBA league at that time. You notice I didn't give away anything about being a GOAT. You take that. I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying I'm not giving that away yet. You take him away from the sport of basketball. You put him right into the limelight of the sport of baseball. And like he said, we can't send him to the double A's. He's got to go triple A's. And if he would have stuck it out, he would have been on the White Sox roster. I mean, I think with all the stuff that he went through, owning the Bulls dynasty, owning a shit team in the White Sox, because let's face it, Frank Thomas was the best player on the team, and it wasn't Jordan. But to capitalize on that, on Jordan, both teams. I mean, that's like having your cake and eating it too. That's like your wife and your mistress getting together at the same time and you watching.
With your girlfriend.
Yeah, but we don't do those things. All right.
He kicked my ass.
Yeah. Nah, that's interesting though. But yeah, I didn't even realize he actually owned, both organizations, baseball and basketball in Chicago, which is a hell of a market within itself.
Exactly. Look how much capital he brought to that city. Just between two different, and regardless if the White Sox are good or not, you brought Jordan in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't give a shit if he left the Bulls. He was still getting paid.
He's still in the
circle. He still had it.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of what is it? Above the rim, you still playing for Birdie.
Yeah. Still playing for Birdie.
All right, Doc. Who deserves a Doc?
They already spoke it, so I'm going to just speak past it because that's what I was going to do.
See, next time, Vic, hold on. Next time, Vic, you got to give him the first shot. You got to give him the first shot because he's blaming me and Damon. Oh, I have nothing to say.
I'm giving him the next one.
Look,
I'm gonna the next one.
Dan chose Pippen on the last one, and I'm like, well, damn, I guess I'll piggyback. And now you done threw me under the bus. Well, Rodman already had a 30 for 30, which I was going to say in my shit, and then go a little further and just say.
I would love to see it. I would love to see a whole episode, a whole series on Rodman.
Yeah, if I can't get a whole series, I would love to see a whole movie, man. Like, I just want to
rated X.
Yeah, I don't care.
I mean, I want to be one of the entourage, man.
I want to hang with him just for like 3 days.
No, we can't hang.
We're trying to get him on the show,
just
by the way.
But nah, man, just the biggest rock star the NBA's ever seen, man, and made his own rules, and it never affected his play. Just went out there and did what he was supposed to do, game in, game out. When he leave the gym, he still did whatever he wanted to do. And I'm glad that he had a coaching field that understood that, and some players that know, hey, he's gonna come out and fight no matter what he's doing outside of here. So I just want to see a movie, man. I want to see a Rodman movie. I think it would be exciting.
Yeah, one thing I learned about Rodman, pretty much apparently he earned $250K for that NWO appearance, with the wrestling. So, I mean, to him, that was a hell of a business move. Gonna make $250K in a day. Now I get it. Hell, I probably do the same shit too. Yeah. So, man, hey, Rodman is the epitome of when I'm off the clock, fuck that job. So I get it
wholeheartedly.
Hey, when he was on the clock, he was fuck that job.
Fuck that job. What you mean?
Man, who comes to practice in PJs, man?
hungover Rodman.
Man, he'd get out the truck, walk in the gym. I already got his sneakers on because he had them on in the truck. Walk in the gym, poop out, walk right back out the gym, get in the truck and go home.
He ain't go home.
My bag went to Vegas.
Went to Vegas.
With Carmen Electric.
Big lit.
Number
He
one
made
chick at the time.
Yeah,
he made her kiss the trophy.
Yeah.
Trophy.
I see what you did there.
All right. Hey, Avo, what you got, man? Who deserves a doc?
Being the asshole I am, I need to hear about the Bad Boy Pistons.
Okay.
I need some type of documentary about them and how they got the mentality to just go start whooping ass. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Y'all better than us. So we gonna beat your ass. I need to know where that came from. I need to see that. Yeah, that shit was dope.
Just go to ESPN on demand and watch the
30 for 30.
Pistons 30 for 30.
I don't want to see a 30 for 30. I need more. I need more about Isaiah. Isaiah came from Chicago. I want to know.
Hey, Isaiah's nice, man.
So we can say the Pistons, but it's gonna be an Isaiah doc. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Okay.
There was a
I want
dog.
it to take me all the way through the Malice and the Palace. That's all. That's all I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, that's a good point, Avo, because even when I feel like that mean streak in the Pistons had to come from somewhere, whether they got tired of losing to the Celtics or whoever. So, what was that motivation to make them the bad guys around the league? So,
I mean, look who their coach was, dude. He was a badass coach himself.
you got to school me on that. Who was the coach?
That's
I was 89.
I don't even know.
Chuck Daly.
Chuck Daly. Okay.
I had it and then it left, and thank you, Damon, for helping me out.
Chuck Daly.
He's my
he was
Robin, folks.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Ah, shit. I had to do it.
Yeah, he did.
No,
Chuck Daly was also the coach. And Chuck Daly was also the coach for the Olympic team too in '93 as well, and he is also on the all-time best dressed coaching list.
Okay.
Who made
Only
that?
Damon would know that, folks.
Versace suits or what? What was it?
Hey man, Chuck Daly was clean, son. For the '80s, little bitty knots on the ties, nice 2-button. Chuck was clean. Roy Williams is on that list.
Big Roy.
Yeah,
Big
Roy
Roy.
Williams. Hey, Roy Williams' wife got mad taste.
Big Roy. I fuck with Roy.
All right. Somebody that stuck out to me who I think deserves a doc because they were just, believe it or not, from start to finish, every episode, they kind of found their way into the documentary, Ahmad Rashad, man. So a lot of us know him from NBA Inside Stuff. I had no idea he was a Hall of Fame.
You're that old to remember that?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
NBA
Hell yeah.
Shots. He's throwing shots at everybody.
No, Damon, hold on here. You don't know the text that I got earlier. Besides, my son was sick and I couldn't make the show tonight.
Hey, wrong game. All dance texts alike. Nah, but I'm glad everything's
Wait a
good.
minute. What do you mean by that? What are we talking about here now?
Hey, but
you guys.
Oh, now he went with the you guys. All us guys look alike.
I'm not trying to really. All right, but hey, Ahmad Rashad though, seriously, I didn't know he even had a Hall of Fame football career with the Minnesota Vikings. Like I had no idea he played football because my introduction to him was just basketball and NBA.
You know who his wife is, right?
Well, one of his wives, of course, he's divorced and got remarried. So he was married to Felicia Ayers at the time. So the mom off of the Cosby's, right?
We like the pudding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Like the pudding.
but apparently he's been married like 4 or 5 times. But
Yeah.
but it was interesting just to even see him traveling with the Dream Team and even chilling with Michael for the '98 series, and he just has all this access. So that's a hell of a guy from what I've seen. So
He must.
I'd like to agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Because that was his buddy.
yeah,
So you would think you would have seen him interview more. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with you on that. Ahmad Rashad would have liked to see more of.
yeah.
The second guy I would love to see a documentary about is the white guy with the mustache that was in Michael Jordan's like security thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Playing quarters off of the wall with him.
Hit him with the shrug.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, you know that dude's a gangster, man. You can just tell, bro. He don't play.
Hell yeah, low key.
Hell of a personality.
Hey man, he had that Dusty Rose mullet, son.
Yeah. Hey, he actually had a gun. I don't know if you guys noticed. They were like packing pistols on his hip. So yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I
man.
believe it. Them kids in the 90s, man, they were rough.
In
I mean,
Chicago.
low key, who I think should have also got a doc off this is Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Man,
You know what I mean?
It's
I
coming.
found out the stuff
I
about
did-
his dad was dope.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's the only player that four-peated, right?
Yep. Because he won the lockout the next year
Okay.
With the
Spurs.
San
Spurs.
Antonio.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, and Steve Kerr, he's involved in a lot of the gun violence and anything that has to do with activism and social justice type topics. Even with the
Is he involved in the NFL right now then?
even with the Ahmaud Arbery story down in Georgia, he actually was one of the few folks who signed the petition, to say, hey, we need to have this investigated at the federal level. So him and Tom Brady, stuff like that. So Steve Kerr is always putting his name out there for any humanitarian type topic. So shout out to Steve Kerr, man, hell of a coach too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see you
Real
giving
quick,
Brady
I'm
some,
not meaning to throw this in there real quick, but I gotta say something.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that nowadays you have to have these athletes or these big superstar people, Hollywood or whatever, to tell us what to do when you should already know in your mind and your heart what's right and what to do. So,
True that.
Yeah.
That's real.
Preach.
it's organic.
Yeah, organic. That was from the heart. All right, now let's get. Oh, did we go over yours, Avo? My bad. I think we did, right? On the doc.
Yeah.
No.
White guy cut him off. My bad.
There they
No,
go.
I'm pretty sure we did.
All right, now let's get into some critiques. What's one thing you liked about the documentary? What's something you didn't like? So let's start with the good and the bad. So I'm gonna start with Dot. Start with you, Dot. What's one thing you liked about it? Something you didn't like?
I wasn't ready. I thought you was gonna keep starting with the guest the whole time. I'm just
In
playing.
baseball, we call that a curveball.
Come on, man.
No, I'm just playing. All right. I can tell you. Look, I thought it was a dope as a documentary. I guess the one thing I don't like is to drop 2 episodes a week, wait around on it, because it did jump around a lot. Like every episode, like from 98 jumping back to 86, and it's like, so with all that jumping around, I would like to say that's something that I would just like to watch all at once, because I feel like I watched it as it came out, but I'm excited about these past 2 episodes I just watched, to where 4 weeks ago those episodes still don't register and ain't popping like what I just watched. So I wish it was something that they just would have released all at once. Watch it at your own rate, because it jumped around a lot. So that excitement waiting for it was stalling me. So that's literally the only thing that I have to say negative about it, because they did well, man. I like how it was raw, uncut, and they got a lot of the stuff that I'm sure the Bulls did not want to be recorded. And I really enjoyed it, man. Whoever decided to say, fuck it, we need to document all this shit was a genius, because they got a lot of that stuff, man. Yeah. So yeah,
I don't know if it was or not, but it would make sense.
So I was like, okay, that's why he was in all these things. All right, Avo, how about you? What's something you liked about the doc? Something you didn't like?
I pretty much enjoyed it. I enjoyed most of the information I got. I enjoyed watching the director be an asshole and just hand Jordan the iPad, like, oh, did you know he said this? So like, I enjoyed shit like that. Like, that shit was funny to me. The shit I didn't like, it wasn't really shit I didn't like. But I'll take that back. The shit I didn't like is like whatever the director couldn't get in, because I do know that he was getting pushed back and pulled back on different things. So nah, fuck that. There's more raw shit that we could have knew, and I know that we're not getting it. We're not seeing it for whatever reason. Fuck that. I want to see it. there's some more stories out here. I want to know all of them. Don't bullshit me. Y'all got a lot on film. Y'all got a lot. Y'all caught some hoes somewhere doing something. Y'all caught somebody snorting coke.
Oh my gosh.
I want to see.
You had
I mean,
you had
come
the
on.
snorters over here. You had the smokers over there. You had the women over here. Man, that was
I
a
mean-
hell of a hotel room.
I mean, yeah, I agree. You got all that. I mean, those cameras follow them for the whole season. That's not even the footage that they got from previous seasons. That's just for that whole season. They followed them. So you went into the hotels, you was in the gyms, you was in the back of the arenas. Come on, man. You got way more. I mean, that was only 10 hours of footage. So you took 200, 300 hours of footage for 10 hours. Come on, there's more shit.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
more. There's some more. I'm just saying the director wanted it in.
Yeah.
So he was trying to tell maybe kind of a different story or something of that nature. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Damon. How about you? What you liked about it? What you didn't like?
What I liked about it, man, I liked the rawness, the realness, the depth of how they got into the emotional part of it. You know what I mean? He didn't try, like he said, the director really didn't try to sugarcoat or pussyfoot around subjects that we back in the day was wondering about. You know what I mean? He touched on all of it. And I liked it how you got the realness of the actual player that was like, you know what I mean? Hey, Isaiah, you can't tell me he wasn't no ass. You tell me whatever you want. I'm still telling the man's an asshole. You know, that's what I'm looking at. I'm like the depthness of it and how Mike was just so willingly allowing us to see his emotions behind the curtain. I mean, to get into that, to be so emotionally moved when you talk about how your passion drove your competitors, and if you couldn't play, if you couldn't compete like that, I'm done. You know, that was what I really enjoyed about it. What I didn't like about it is how they vilified certain other type of players. You know what I mean? One with the Isaiah. You know, you really went at Isaiah bad. And even on the Detroit 30 for 30, and even when they talked to other Pistons and Isaiah, he was not the orchestrator of that particular event with them walking off the court. That was all that DK Bill Laimbeer, who claimed it. And they still tried to put it on Isaiah. Well, he was the captain, so it was ultimately him. No, Bill got everybody and they were a team. If the whole team decided to walk off, Isaiah was going to walk with them. You know what I mean? And then they flipped it, even though they tried to give him a little emotional comeback and saying, if I'd have had the choice, but you've already destroyed the man in this situation and then give him a little scrap. Now, here you go. You can try to make yourself look better in the situation. I didn't like how they did that so much and how they vilified Jordan and being aggressive with his teammates to see if they can go through battle.
Yeah. How about you, Dan?
Well, I'm gonna kind of go back to Dot's thing about going back and forth. I liked that about the series. I liked how it started from episode 1. It started at the last part, and then took you back to when he was in high school. He was growing up when he played in North Carolina, and then it kind of jumped back to the quote unquote present time, the 90s, the 98 part, getting to the finals and stuff, how it jumped back. I really did like the way they did that. The one thing and another thing I did like is the way they cut it off. Instead of trying to go into, well, what did everybody do afterwards? Where did they go from here? It was the last dance. It's chopped off right then because the song is over, the party's done, and everybody's moving out. And it goes into really quick, giving you a couple things. Phil, that was the last time Phil coached for the team. Kerr was traded, a little bit here and there, but it didn't go into detail about what actually happened afterwards. That's what I really like about it. What I didn't like about it, I'll kind of piggyback off of the one here, I do believe that Jordan was, quote unquote, hard on them because he wants to win. I mean, you are at the top level of your sport. You have got to play to win. You've got to play every ounce of athleticism and aggressiveness. And if that means putting your foot in your teammate's ass for doing something stupid, so be it. I mean, that's what a good team does. You know, you call each other out on stupidity. You call each other out on your mistakes, but you praise each other on the good stuff. And that's what that dynasty did. I mean, they were all about shouting out their team one way or another, whether it be, you know, you did a great job or what the fuck are you doing? You know, I liked that style of basketball. You know, I like the big man style basketball, the aggressive. You know, you got your guards and your small forwards just driving in. I like that style of basketball. I'm not really a fan of the 3-point game. Him and I definitely disagree on this to some extent, but you know, I didn't really have anything that I didn't really like about the thing other than trying to have Jordan look like a dickhead for going at his team when that's what a great player does.
Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to, you know, start with what I didn't like because I want to end on a positive note since I'm going last. So what I didn't like, I agree with you, Dot, the bounce back and forth. I get you got to start at 98 because that's the last dance. Then I get you got to take it back to where it started with the draft and Jordan coming up. But from there, I would like to kind of see it just progress back to 98, but they kind of did take us back and forth between we're at 98, then we're at 92, then we're at 95, and we're back to 91, then that back to 98. So, I mean, I kind of want to see it flow a little bit better. But overall, I mean, it did work. And then my positive note, I liked how they leverage and hone in on the role players because everyone was contributing to this documentary by giving their input, their side, and then they actually took time to actually focus in. Like we got to learn about Steve Kerr and Phil Jackson and all these people. So we didn't get to learn about Bill Wennington. I still want to see that. And Judd Butler, or if I didn't butcher his name. But Judd, yeah, but even Judd Butler. But even seeing how
hey man, don't try to tell anybody how to say words, man.
Hey, shut your face.
Yeah, but
what?
Hey, but given how Steve Kerr and Jordan got into that fight, in practice, and then the kind of
did Jordan hit him first?
I don't know.
No,
but
that was a joke, Damon.
But given that story, and then later on seeing how actually Jordan and Kerr were even connected just by both their fathers, unfortunately, were succumbed to gun violence. So oftentimes when you do get into a fight with someone, you end up becoming buddies with them because you guys are, even more connected than what you guys even thought before. You got a lot in common. So just seeing how even Kerr and Jordan can get into this fisticuff, and then see that Steve Kerr was also impacted by gun violence as it relates to his dad. Like they're more related, and I'm sure even more brothers now. So I just thought that was pretty interesting and cool to see. But we wouldn't have got that if they didn't take time to kind of hone in on their story. So
right,
the couple fist fights I got into, we did not become friends. It didn't make us closer. I'm just throwing that out there.
It can happen. It can happen. No, but usually when most people do fight, that's it. That's the end of it. Whether they cool or they just go their separate ways, the beef ends right there.
Kids these days don't even fight.
Nah, they're too scared to take an ass whooping.
Nah, man, there's emojis, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get into this GOAT talk, I want to open the floor. Any other thoughts, comments? We had the Scott Burrells, the Gary Payton, the Jordan coming up with his own.
When he laughed at Gary Payton, straight laughed at him.
Was that rude? Was that rude?
Hey, Gary was so serious too, man. He was so serious. You saw it in his face.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I had him. And hey, Gary funny, and then gave it back.
He really believes what he's saying. Like, he
right?
really believes.
Yeah.
Like, I was really wearing him down, bro. He gonna tell his grandkids. I'm sure he does. Like, wearing his ass down.
He's gonna hold on to that as much as Dockich holds on to playing against Jordan at IU.
Hey,
Wow.
do y'all how good was Ron Harper, man? Can y'all tell me that? Because I was too young to realize.
So that's my era. That's all me. Now, Ron Harper, when he got to the Bulls,
the older folk.
yes, the older folk, yes, the one that likes today's style basketball, yes. Now, Ron Harper, before he got to the Bulls, when Ron Harper was with Cleveland, when he was with the Cavs, Ron was a straight hooper player. Him, Larry Nance, Senior. Straight dogs on that squad with Mark Price, but Mike beat
Was
him.
Doherty on that team? Doherty was on that team, right?
Yes. Brad Doherty was on that team as well. He was a straight dog, but knees. His knees had a couple of knee surgeries, and back then the knee surgery medical field wasn't as advanced as it is now. So it was kind of a step back for him. So when he got to the Bulls, he was more of a role player, like a complimentary player. But when he was in Cleveland, Ron Harper was a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing that, man, and just like you said, that's one of the guys that didn't get no highlight on the documentary like that. So, but I just wanted to ask that question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Why Harper wasn't involved anymore? Was it something that he just didn't want to do? Did they give him enough credit to even reach out to him? I'd like to know that backstory.
I think some of the people probably didn't want to do it because I know Reggie had a little trepidation about it. Like he wasn't unsure if he really wanted to do it or not because of the deep-rooted feelings. Nothing negative against Jordan, but just that moment in time, he hasn't really gotten over it. But I don't think it would have. I think, hey, it's all good, man.
Got to charge the laptop before I dropped it.
That would have been a Dan moment there.
Yeah. But I definitely would have liked to hear from like Scott Burrell and Randy Brown, just because I can tell those are the guys that keep the locker room lit. I can just tell just by, I don't know. They just like some of the guys that just keep the life in the locker room. So you got to hear from these B team guys, man. So that's what that comes down to.
I'd actually like to hear from some of the guys who wasn't cool with that type of leadership from the team. You didn't hear a whole lot from Horace Grant.
Yeah.
You said you heard a little bit, but you didn't hear a lot. But I did like how they did talk to the stars and players of other teams about the situation. So that was great. I'd like to hear from Karl Malone.
Yes, because you got a little bit of Stockton, but you didn't get a lot. But you never heard from Malone, and Malone played with him on the Dream Team. Malone, they knew each other. They grew up in that era, so to speak. That was a Mailman probably has a lot to say if they gave him the time. Maybe that's an episode or a series coming. The Mailman.
Yeah,
I know he had that respect for him, and he went and got on their bus to say, congrats after they won that ship. So
the second time.
Was that before or after he knocked up the team?
I was trying not to say that, man. That was gonna be me. Damn.
Oh, I don't know. That one you gotta.
We just went organic on your ass.
Break that down. A lot of people might not know. I don't know. What are you talking about?
All right,
I'm serious.
I'll tell you a little bit.
Tell
me.
Ahead.
Just a little bit, because I don't want to tell it all, because
that's what she said. Just a little bit.
It's weird. Basically, I can tell you he got a child when he was in college. I believe she was 13, and his son went to the NFL. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a couple years for that acknowledgement to come about.
See, I ain't know nothing about that.
I think it was either 13 or 15, and I think he was 21 or something like that.
Oh, wow. All right. Yeah.
You see how they brushed that right?
Yeah. We about to get out of there. All right, I want to end it with this, and before we get to this GOAT talk, I will say the documentary did, debunk a lot of myths, like the flu game. I thought it was legit the flu, and then they say it was some bad pizza. I don't even think it was that. I think Jordan was just out. I think Jordan might have just had a long night.
Bro, you got 5 dudes come. When have you ever had 5 dudes deliver a pizza to you in the hotel?
Right.
Come on, man. That was
Well,
his
hey.
dumbass fault for eating the pizza.
No, check this out. It's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. What were you doing before that?
Hey,
Playing cards and drinking.
Gambling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan
Look,
don't. At least
they
Jordan
got
don't
all
look like
that
no
on
go out guy. So
Remember, guys.
No, but-
all
Hey,
but
the
on
party
still.
can come to you. The
didn't
party
show.
can be brought to you.
Hey, well, to use an alias, you could have used a whole different name. 5 dudes peeked around the door. Hey, man, that's suspect, man. Why are these people investigated? Why wouldn't charges brought up? That's attempted murder, man. That's an assault.
Hey, the stomach virus do feel like you about to die. I ain't
they
gonna lie.
do.
All right. Well, let's get into this GOAT talk. So, I'm happy to have this conversation with you guys. Not everybody can handle the GOAT talk. Of course, we're going to respect everyone's opinions. I don't know what you guys are going to say. So, looking forward to this. But after all this, I just want to ask you guys, who's the GOAT, in your opinion? So, I'm going to start with you, Damon. In your opinion, who's the GOAT, and tell us why?
I think this is a very difficult conversation. I don't like comparing great athletes with other great athletes in different eras. There's too many variables to equate. One, you got to take time, the difference in the play, the difference of the athlete, the difference of the position. You know what I mean? Can you really say a point guard is better than a 7-foot center? Really? I mean, what do you equate as greatness? Is it the effect on the game? Is it your numbers? Is your championships? So there's so many things that you could come down to. But what I can say about Mike is he's the best player that I've seen in my lifetime. And I've watched a lot. I mean, I've seen Kareem play when he was Lou Alcindor. I've seen Bill Walton play when he was at UCLA, Mike in North Carolina, Elijah Wan in Houston. I've seen these guys, but this is the best player that I've seen. Now, what I can say he's great at, he is great. He is the greatest person to change the effect, have a sport change the effect of the planet. I don't think anybody's greater at that from what he has done, what he has impacted, and all the lives, all the future basketball players, men and women that he's affected. So if you look at it like that, yeah, he's the greatest. But if you go off actual basketball, I can't say he's the greatest. I can't say anybody's the greatest.
Okay. I respect that. All right, Dan, GOAT talk, in your opinion.
Unfortunately, you let Damon go first, so he kind of took a little bit of what I'm going to try to say, but I agree with him. You cannot necessarily put a guard up against a center, or a power forward up against a point guard or something like that. Jordan was the greatest of that era, yes. Before him, you had Kareem. After him, my opinion, you had Iverson. Then you had Kobe. Now you have, LeBron. I'm not even going to say Steph Curry because Damon knows. No. But and that's that 3-point game. Iverson's better than Curry, hands down. But I can't say that he wasn't, or isn't the GOAT, greatest of all time. But in different eras, you had different players that stood out as the greatest. So, like Damon said, I can't disagree with him. You combined them all. You can't say, well, he was better than this one, or this one was better than that one. Well, of course, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to have way more rebounds, or should at least, than Michael Jordan. There's certain stats that one person should probably have more so than the other because of their position play. I mean, if I'm 7 foot and I'm getting how many? I think Kareem had how many rebounds? Like 13,000 or something.
I think he's closer to 20.
Okay. I mean, and then Jordan may have had
could be over exaggerated because he played damn near 40 years.
Exactly. But I mean, you're playing in the era, like you said, you're playing in the era where the big man ruled the court. I mean, when you were 7 foot, you dominated. coming into Jordan's era, I personally will say, and a lot of people say this different. A lot of people say that it was a weak time in basketball, and I call bullshit 100% on that, because you look at those teams that played in that era. You look at the dream team of the Summer Olympics and look at that team. Nobody could beat that team. If you put those guys together in the league, that team's going 82-0. You cannot say that Jordan was better or worse than LeBron. You know, game's totally changed now. So I guess I've done nothing but repeat Damon's thought. I can't say that he's the greatest of all time that I've seen, because I've not necessarily was a fan of Jordan's and followed him like a bunch of people did my age at 10 to 15 or even older when Damon was like 40. But Iverson was Iverson and Barkley was my favorite. And Bella down there thought the same thing. I know. She's freaking out. Damn fucking bunny again. Yeah. Is he the GOAT? No, because I don't believe anybody is the actual GOAT, because there's five different divisions on the team.
All right. Avo, GOAT talk, and then I'm going to pivot to Dot. I got to get the door real quick.
Pizza's here.
Pizza.
All right, that's cool. The greatest player of all time to me is easy. It's LeBron. We can argue about Jordan's mentality. It's cool. Let me get it out. It's cool. That's fine.
I wish I had the button that said message.
I got
There you go.
He's a greater overall player, but I believe it's also because of Jordan. I believe because of Jordan's greatness is why I actually believe LeBron is better. It's
And how
because
old are
Jordan
you?
was so great. I'm 31.
Old enough to watch. We're old enough to
Old
watch
enough to
all
see
of
it.
LeBron's career,
Yep.
and not all of Jordan's career. So our answer are always going to be different. Heads up.
Yeah,
So-
I've seen
so-
all of both of them.
The way you talk about Damon, that's how we talk about you, Dan. So it's one of those
I'm sorry. I got a nose itch.
Oh, come on, man.
But I believe he's better just because of Jordan's greatness in itself. Jordan made sure to come through, set a bar, just like Bird and Magic. They came through, set a bar. Somebody tried to go above that bar, And just from what I've seen, I've never seen, and clearly, I've only really seen LeBron. I'm not going to sit there in front of y'all. I've never seen a player affect a team like LeBron has affected every team I've seen him go to. Like, he'll go to this team, playoff team. Go to this team, immediate playoff team. That's just what I see. Maybe you disagree. That's cool.
Not at
But,
all.
I mean, it's pretty proven. Like, it's pretty proven, like in the stats and everything. Like it's
In
it's
overall
there.
records.
In overall, like it's there.
Records.
When he goes to a team,
Hey.
they go to the playoffs. I'm not saying Jordan couldn't have done it. He just decided not to. He decided to retire. He decided to stay on one team. I don't knock that.
Yeah.
You didn't say
Hey,
one
how
thing.
many?
Hold on. You said
The only thing I want to rebuttal to that.
team, right?
We don't count
The
that.
only thing I want to rebuttal to that, because I like LeBron. I think LeBron is a phenomenal athlete. I like to compare him more to Magic. That's the type of mentality he is. I think he can affect the team on all positions. I do agree with that. But hey, how many times did Mike lose in the finals?
Hey,
1,000% right.
can I rebuttal that though? I got a good because why do people always say that, right? And give LeBron a hard time about losing in the finals, but nobody ever asked this. Why didn't Jordan always go to the finals? How long did it take Jordan to finally? No, listen. You give him credit for never losing in the finals, but why did it take him so long to finally get to the finals?
Because there was dogs back there.
Oh my gosh, bro! Quit acting like it wasn't no dogs in our era. He's an Iverson fan. Kobe was out there. Shaq was out there. There's guys out there that
killers out here. There are some killers out here. But LeBron never had to go through Kobe. LeBron never had to go to Iverson. So we're going to leave those two guys out. LeBron never had to go through them. He didn't have to go through Kobe. Kobe was already done with his excellence as a basketball player. Now he's getting that money. When
Kobe
LeBron was doing all this stuff,
was still winning championships while LeBron was going to the finals.
Yeah, they never had a chance to meet. All right, look.
LeBron never played Kobe in the finals.
Check this out.
LeBron never played Kobe in the finals.
All right, look. I don't want to.
Never got to play him, but Kobe was still in the league and still being great while LeBron was playing. So you made it sound like Kobe was past his prime. No, he won a championship.
He was past his prime. He was past his prime.
It's all good.
Check this out.
Ask for my opinion.
Yeah. I respect it.
Hold on, hang on a little bit, just a little bit. When LeBron came here to Indianapolis that rookie year, your boy was there. Fuck that shit. That was my favorite player before he got in the league because of his mentality of wanting to go to the league junior year of high school. I said, that's my nigga. I don't give a fuck what else. That's my man's because look at that. He knows he's great. I want to go now. Y'all holding me back. He could have been a whole extra year in the league. Come on, man. Come on. That's my goal.
All right, look.
That's my goal.
I appreciate your take. And again, it's all opinion based. We already said it's all about errors and stats and it's however you size up the metrics. So I respect that. So we got our first LeBron on the table. I like it. And we got some tweeners because you guys didn't really kind of flag, which is fine. You don't have to. It's all about, however you want to approach it. GOAT talk. Is there a GOAT or who's your GOAT if you do got one?
As far as best player I've ever seen, it's LeBron James. But I will say this, man. After watching Jordan,
I love you guys.
After watching this last dance, I don't think nobody will ever have Jordan's mentality, man. No matter how much I like LeBron, and I've watched LeBron since high school. You got to think, when LeBron was in high school and all this LeBron talk started, that's when probably what you guys were when you guys were loving Iverson or when you was loving Jordan. That was us watching LeBron in high school. So you gotta understand that's where we were. I wasn't when Jordan won the dunk contest, I wasn't born. So what was I supposed to do with that? It's not my fault.
Damon, you probably feel fucking ancient right now, don't you?
Yeah, but that's not my fault.
When the ones dropped, I'm pretty sure I was one.
I just cleared up. I was not the Jordan fan. I was a Magic dude. I might have wore Jordans.
Okay.
But I was a Magic dude.
When Magic back started going out, I probably still wasn't potty trained.
When Magic back was going out, Dan wasn't doing it right.
All right.
Nah, but I'm just going off of when we did our football talk and we all did our Mount Rushmores. I only spoke to guys that I got to watch. I wanted to talk to guys that impacted me as I seen, not just looking back as much as I go back and watch older games and learn my history with everything. I'm just going off impact of what I seen since I was able to indulge myself in it. So, yes, it was LeBron for me.
All right. I'm going to close it out. And I'm coming from a standpoint of what eras did you touch? Of course, we already know all the stats and accolades and awards, all-stars, all this and that. But I like to look at also the intangibles, meaning on the floor and also off the floor. So that's kind of how I calculate my GOAT. In my opinion, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I think what comes after that is Kobe, then LeBron. I think it's all in that order because to me, those two guys looked up to him. Not to say you can't look up to someone and surpass them, but I still think Jordan's the GOAT. Reasons why, real quick, I'm just going to go top down. I'm not going to dive into it, but Kobe and LeBron, they both were 23 and 24. They idolized him. That says a lot. Jordan played in the 80s, the 90s, and some of the 2000s, so he got to touch the Iversons, the Kobes, and the Birds. And I think some of these guys will even acknowledge he's one of the greatest. So you got a lot of these guys saying you're one of the greats. I think that speaks a lot. Of course, you got guys out there that say, well, Bill Russell won 10, 11 rings. We acknowledge that. But to me, Jordan, he three-peated 2 times. The Dream Team practice, all those stars. Barkley, Bird in his, of course, he's on the back end, but all those guys. 38 points in the finals with the stomach flu. He's a global icon without social media. Imagine what he would have done with social media. The Isaiah Thomas, he had every reason in the world to decline this documentary, but he gave Jordan his flowers. I think that speaks volume. Obama was featured in the doc, and Prince showed up in '98 to the Falcons, or not the Falcons, the Atlanta Hawks game. If you got Prince coming out to check you out, that speaks volume. Oh, he's the GOAT.
Prince probably been to a LeBron game.
Probably. Show me the clip. Show me the clip.
1,000% sure.
Probably.
100%
sure. Yeah, Prince was probably watching Bron.
Yeah, but LeBron's or Michael Jordan's the GOAT in my opinion. But again, all this is opinion based. It's however you decide to calculate and sauce it up. So
and sports talk is nothing but banter anyway.
And that's
why not come at each other for a minute?
Yeah, I like the sneak in of Kobe there. I did like that. I do see the comparison more of greatness with LeBron and Jordan. I know we've seen over the internet, people keep asking why you skip over Kobe. We skip over Kobe, not diminishing Kobe's greatness. We skip over Kobe because Kobe was a carbon copy of Jordan. Everything Kobe is, Jordan was. All the way down to the desire and the drive and how he gathered his teammates. LeBron is a different type of greatness. Those two are in the same category. LeBron is different. So that's why you get the comparison. So I do like how you snuck that in there.
And real quick, do you remember seeing that video where Jordan would take a shot and then it would fade right into Kobe's shot and it looks identical to each other? Oh, yeah. That's a badass video.
That's just crazy.
And mind you, I'm a Pacers fan, so I will say this. Watching them play, I hated these guys because they're stopping my pace from winning a championship, but I've grown a whole new level of appreciation for these guys in retirement. When Kobe retired, whole new appreciation for him. Rest in peace. And, of course, with Jordan, I'm able to appreciate him with the documentary. So, of course, maybe with LeBron, I'll have that same gratitude post-retirement because if you play these Pacers, man, you're in the Central and you got to go
hey, boy.
I got to root against you.
Hey, that Bron documentary is gonna be outstanding.
Hey, Vic gonna say Bron the GOAT after that Bron documentary, man.
And we gonna archive this. Come back
You know what that documentary is gonna be called?
What's it gonna be called?
Oh man,
Flopping at 40.
Oh my gosh, man, come on.
He's gonna be still playing 40 at 40.
Hey, see, I like LeBron's aggressiveness. He does flop just a tad bit.
He does flop. I ain't arguing that.
Get you big for that, dog.
You gotta get the call, man.
All right, look. Before we get in to say something good to the people, do me a favor. Dan, tell everybody where we can follow you at.
www.bwsports1.com. This is the ass. He is the one. We are from Black and White Sports. You can catch our nightly dailies every night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesday Night Live every Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on the Facebook page. We are all on Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, wherever the fuck else you want to find us. We're there.
All that.
I'm at the bar.
That's where you can find Damon.
When that motherfucker opens back up, we'll all be there.
I'll be there. I'm gonna pull up. Hey, DJ Avo, tell the good people where we can find you at.
You can find me at DJ AVOLXVE and at Dynasty Bro Avo. Hopefully it says it right there somewhere.
I don't know.
I'm hoping
Vic.
it does.
Hey, I'm gonna pitch it back to Damon. Let's get Damon's handle. Where can we follow you at, Damon?
You can get me. You can get me on Twitter, Damon.BWSports1. I'm on Facebook. Again, you want to know anything about our network? You just get us on the website www.bwsports1.com.
Vic keep on being nice. I was gonna go back to Damon. Let me do something.
I didn't know.
Different order, man.
Damn.
I mean, come on, man.
Right,
Before I go, let Damon tell where you guys can follow him.
He was flopping it to Damon, folks.
It wasn't that sweet. It wasn't that sweet.
I don't like that.
Hey Vic, where can we follow you at, bro?
Dynasty Bro Vic, Instagram, Twitter. Of course, be sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts at. We're there, Apple, Spotify, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we stream these live weekly. So yeah.
And And follow me at DynastyBro. on Instagram and Twitter, and Dynasty Bros FF on Instagram. That's the main page. So at the end of every episode, we like to do a say something good to the people. And clearly, why he has the pinky ring blinging. Look, Dan, say something good to the people. Anything that's been on your mind, or some motivation, a motivational piece for the rest of the week for our fans. And we like to give that good word. So I'll let you start, man, since you shining on us right now.
All right, I'm gonna shine on. Thank you, brother. We're in tough times now. We're all in little confusion. We do know things. We don't know things. You know what? Right here is what you see. 5 people, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different everything. We're hanging together. We're having a damn good time. And once this place really opens back up, do yourself a favor. Get out. Enjoy your friends and family. Don't stay cooped up. Don't stay. I'm not saying this shit ain't real. Just don't stay scared enough to stay away from your family and friends. Get out there amongst the people that you know, that you love. Show them that you love them. And I love you guys.
Oh, man, that's all love, bro.
Love you too, man. And that wasn't the Rooney rule, so he wasn't forced to say that. So appreciate it.
You know why? I'm not getting no damn draft picks.
Hey, that was good. All right. I like this guy.
All right. As my brother Vic would do, Damon, you go next. Say something good to people.
I say so good. First off, I want to say something good to you 3 bros. Hey, man, I love the job you guys do. We are proud to be trying to pair up with you, do more great things in our communities. This is awesome. I enjoyed the invite. Hope to hang out with you guys a little more. My thing to the people, like he said, I mean, this is tough times. You got to find different ways to, bring back the family, so to speak. Things happen for a reason. This thing happened, and look what's happened. People are starting to connect back with, their wives, their kids, with all the mundane of everyday going on. Now you have a time to focus on family and build relationships. Not to say that the relationships were gone, but to put a little life back into them. So that's pretty good. So, and then my part in words is be true to yourself, because no one can be true to you but you.
Damn, I like that.
That's from the
one more time. Folks. Say that one more time.
Be true to yourself, because no one can be true to you but you.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, once you play that, you owe him 10 cents a play. See, I know you was recording that shit.
Oh, shit.
I should have.
Oh, shit. We about to get through, man.
That was slick. Damn.
All right, Avo, do what you do, man.
Hey, man. As things get back opening up, just be smart, be safe. There ain't no need in going to certain places, spending money you don't really have on things you don't need. My wife works in the mall, so I see what y'all doing. Come on, man. It don't make sense. You've been in the house all this time and you need this many shoes. I don't even think it kids grow, but yeah, it don't make sense what y'all doing out here. So just be smart, be mindful, because there's other bills that are coming up soon. I was just hearing about how basically we got another tidal wave of issues coming that we don't even realize. So just be smart. Be smart with your money. Stack it up. Do what you're supposed to do, and stop being frivolous if you can. Because it might get tough out here even soon. So if you ain't got no job, get a job. Stop spending money. Just be smart.
Tell black folk not to spend money.
Hey man, I gotta try. Somebody
Good luck.
Man, you don't get the stimulus check and put the down payment on the Escalade, son.
All right, I'm gonna be hospitable.
I wasn't about to say that shit.
Smart man.
I'm gonna be hospitable. Dynasty Bro Vic, you go. I'm gonna go last.
All right, Dynasty Bros FF. So of course we show you how to dominate your fantasy football leagues, but we also show you, how to dominate in real life. So, I just want to say faith and common sense can coexist. So just, let those coexist. Let them be organic, and get your gummy vitamins, man. Get your gummy vitamins. So take your vitamin C gummies. Take your men's gummy vitamins. If you're a woman, take your women gummy vitamins. Boost your immune systems. Get yourself an edge. Take your Viagra too, man, if you need that. So I don't need that, at least not now. But
7 more years.
yeah.
Oh my God.
That's cool. That's cool. I'll keep that in mind.
God, just all bad. That's
But,
7 more years, I'm good.
That was so bad. The brother right there. Oh, I'm pointing at the wrong one. Hold on. He took his up there. There we go. He took his earpiece out.
Yeah.
I'm listening to music, man. I'm just getting ready.
Hey, but I just want to say thank y'all for letting us hit on, this Jordan doc. Jordan means a lot to the culture, so we thought it was important to give him his flowers since, he's still here. So he deserved his moment, even in the fantasy football world. So
Yeah. And only thing I will say is why these cities and everything is opening back up, these stores. For the people who are behind and didn't do nothing productive yet, instead of going out doing a whole bunch of shit you don't need to be doing, take your time to find you a fucking hobby or something, become an entrepreneur or business, something to make you some extra money instead of going to go spend it, instead of going out here risking your health for no reason. Find you some time to sit down in the house a little bit more and do something productive, man. That's what I would like to say and end with. We got free time, man. Do something good with it. What have you done today to better yourself?
I got one. That is awesome. I got one last plug for us, and then it's all you. Hey, we got a former Pacer who's going to be on our show next Tuesday. Former Pacer Eddie Gill, who is one of their sideline reporter staff, media staff. He is going to be on our show on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to talk to him about the reopenings of basketball and some of the things affecting, the culture of basketball. So,
hey, be sure to follow.
Give everybody a time. They need to know.
Next Wednesday, 7:30, Wednesday Night Live.
Eastern, Indianapolis time. So be sure to follow Black and White Sports on Facebook, and we'll post that to our Facebook group as well. That way you guys can follow that. So make sure you follow the Facebook group, Dynasty Bros FF Podcast, and follow Black and White Sports on Facebook as well.
I know, man. Hey, and like Vic said, thank y'all for coming on again, man. I can't wait for all the future endeavors that we'll be involved in. Hey, our people, y'all people, the fans, they're going to love everything we got going on, man. So I'm so excited. So appreciate y'all, man.
We cannot wait either, and especially being football season.
All right. And on that note, we are out. DJ Ava, walk us out, man.
All right, y'all be good out here, man. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay good. We gone. We going home. I'm about to get it jumping over here. I don't know about y'all, but let's go. Turn it off, Vic. Let's turn it up.
All right.